You're listening to the Doctor Is In podcast, brought to you by MartinClinic.com. During the episode, the doctors share a lot of information. As awesome as the info may be, it is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any disease. It's strictly for informational purposes.
Well, thanks for joining this morning. We talk about the natural flu shot, what I do in the fall, this time of the year, as we get ready for our, what we call our dark season. There's a reason that the flu shot is given at this time of the year, because they don't do it in summertime, really, when you think about it. You get the flu shot this time of the year, at least they start promoting the flu shot and whatever, okay? So welcome this morning as we go through this little teaching on what I do, okay? This is me. And what I do for the, just to get my immune system firing on all cylinders for the fall season. So good morning to all of you watching this morning. It's always great to have you on. And so let's just talk a couple of things that you need to do. Build your immune system up this time of the year. Again, very important. Number one, numero uno, is vitamin D, okay? I just can't emphasize the importance of vitamin D for everything, but especially the immune system. Your immune system doesn't work properly without vitamin D. So you need vitamin D, and here's what I do. I take around 4,000 IUs every day, 4,000 to 5,000 IUs. I started back in September. And you know what, as those dark months come, especially December, January, February, this is when the flu season is at its peak. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin D. And vitamin D, like I said, for me, what I do is around 4,000 or 5,000 now. I'll go to 8,000 in those dark months easily, okay? So vitamin D is essential because your immune system, your little T cells that are your Navy SEALs of your immune system, don't work properly without vitamin D. And so this is why we don't get the flu in the summertime. The sun is out. So guess what? You're not going to see the sun unless you live in Florida or Arizona or whatever. You're not going to see a lot of sun. And even if you could, you're not going to do any sunbathing. So what do you need to do? You need to take vitamin D. Take vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is, let's talk a little bit about food, okay? Because food is important for your immune system. Cut back on your sugars. Cut back on your sugars. This time of the year, sugars suppress the immune system. They put your white blood cells to sleep. So try and cut back on your sugars as much as you can, and the crappy carbohydrates. It really does suppress your immune system. People don't think of food and immunity, but they work together. Another thing that is found in food that is really important is not only vitamin D. So remember, vitamin D, if you're going, you can eat certain, like D3 is only found in the animal kingdom. Okay, so you know why Dr. Martin always talks about eggs, meat, and cheese? Because that's where you find vitamin D3. It's not in the plant kingdom. Vitamin D2 is in the plant kingdom, and D2 is not for your immune system. It's not absorbable. It's a fat-soluble vitamin. You need to find vitamin D in your eggs, meat, and cheese, okay? But I supplement because you don't get enough of it in your food. But here's one that you might not even think of, and that is vitamin A. Vitamin A is very essential for your immune system. Vitamin A covers, it's almost like it puts a protective barrier as to where the cold virus and usually the flu virus enter in. And that is by your upper body, through your mouth. You shake hands with somebody or you touch something, there's a bug. You can't see it, it's invisible, but you lay your hands on it and then you touch your nose or you touch your mouth or you touch your eyes. That is how bacteria, viruses get into your system And, I'm not against washing your hands. Of course you should. Wash your hands frequently. Don't use those chemicals to wash your hands. That stuff is garbage. It'll get into your system. I don't like it. The old-fashioned soap and water. But vitamin A is found again in the animal kingdom. Okay, so I'm not against plants. Plants are wonderful. But if you're going to use vitamin A, if you are a vegetarian or a vegan, then you need to supplement with vitamin D and vitamin A, and you can do it by, vitamin A is found in cod liver oil. We used to get cod liver oil for rickets when we were kids in the 1950s. They shouldn't stop doing that. They could give cod liver oil out again. Cod liver oil is tremendous. It's not only a great source of omega-3, but it's also a tremendous source of vitamin D and vitamin A. Yeah, vitamin A, it's very safe to take. Somebody's asking this morning. But you don't need to take more than 10,000 IUs a day. But listen, vitamin A, I take vitamin A in food because I eat a lot of eggs, meat, and cheese. So I don't need to supplement with vitamin A, but some of you out there might want to supplement with vitamin A, okay? If you're not going to eat enough, for whatever reason, not enough eggs, meat, and cheese, okay? So cut back on your sugars, increase your animal foods to increase your immune system. Here's another one that I really like, oil of oregano. Have you ever heard of it? Anybody that knows me, I had a radio show for 20 years, and guess what? I think I made oil of oregano famous. But I love oil of oregano because it's a natural antiviral, natural antibiotic, natural antifungal. So I like that, okay? I like that. I love oil of oregano. It's a spice. Do you know that spice does not kill your good bacteria? That is, if you've read, don't take too much oil of oregano, I don't understand that. I brush my teeth with oil of oregano, okay? Why is that so good for you? Well, you brush your teeth, you're going to brush your teeth anyway, but it gets into your bloodstream through your gums. So vigorously brush your gums, or you can take it in drops, you can take it in capsules. I love oil of oregano. At the first sign, if you don't do it every day, at the first sign that you start, I start to feel something coming on, make sure you get the oil of oregano. I like the oil of oregano spray and pray, okay? Because it's so strong that you got to pray. You got to pray after you take it. But again, it's such a good way to get your oil of oregano. What a tremendous antifungal and antibiotic, natural, and very, very powerful. Here's another one that's really essential for the natural flu shot, and that is probiotics. Okay, again, you've got to take care of your gut to have a healthy immune system, okay? So when you have a good gut, there's a constant war going in your gut between good and bad bacteria. You need to have a healthy microbiome in your gut. You got 3 pounds of bacteria in your gut, and it is an ecosystem. It needs to be balanced. And of course you're going to have bad bacteria, but if you have more good guys than bad guys, it's called you win and your immune system wins. Okay, so your immune system is fantastic when you have a healthy microbiome. We talk about this all the time. Leaky gut, leaky immune system. One of the biggest things that depresses your immune system is candida, fungus, yeast, because your body is constantly fighting, what we call, it doesn't make you seriously ill, but it sort of is like a suppression of your immune system, because your immune system sees that there is a candida or a fungus in your body, yeast, And what it does is it can overreact to that and then leave you vulnerable to bacteria and viruses. It's like a diversion, right? So you want to make sure that you have enough healthy bacteria. So important for your body, so important. So let me just summarize what I told you, okay? Make sure your vitamin D levels are in good shape. You've got good levels of vitamin D, no more sun, okay? I think in Sudbury here, we haven't seen the sun in about a month. I can't remember when. I'm just teasing, but it's been pretty dark. The days are much shorter, and they will get shorter as we get into those winter months. And guess what? 1, vitamin D. 2, watch your diet, cut back on sugars. Sugar suppresses the immune system and puts your white blood cells to sleep. Proven fact. In order to activate especially your little Navy SEALs, your T cells in your body that really go after viruses and bacteria, make sure that your vitamin D levels are good. Okay, so I like about 4,000, 5,000. You can go up to 8,000. I use a vitamin D. This is what I do in the darker months. Probiotics, diet, cut your sugars, increase your vitamin A. If you don't have to take a supplement, if you get enough vitamin A in your diet. Eggs, meat, and cheese. Eggs, meat, and cheese. If you have any doubt about that, that's what you need to eat. Eggs, meat, and cheese. If you, for whatever reason, you're not eating those things, then you might want to take a supplement of vitamin A. Here's another one, okay? Here's another one just to give you guys, make sure you're sleeping. I know this is a big issue in society today, but one of the things that really messes up your immune system is a lack of sleep because of the high levels of cortisol that is secreted. Cortisol is sort of it's the fight or flight on steroids. You're like that. Cortisol, it wakes you up in the middle of the night, or you have trouble falling asleep or trouble staying asleep. Cortisol is often a factor, and it's very, very common in women especially. It disrupts their sleep. So make sure you try and make up for that sleep, because if your sleep is disrupted, your immune system is going down. It won't be as powerful as it used to be. And these are things that can really affect you. This is why if you're not sleeping properly, make sure you're getting good levels of vitamin D and vitamin A from your food, or vitamin A from a supplement with cod liver oil, and take oil of oregano. And don't be scared of oil of oregano. It's very good for you. You're not going to overdose on oil of oregano. I know it's strong. It's like the old Buckley's commercial. You remember that? Tastes awful, but it's good for you. Well, that's oil of oregano. I love it. It's one of the most natural things that you can do for your immune system. Eat good. Eat good. Cut back on sugars. Increase your protein levels. These are things that are really important for your immune system. Okay? So there you go. If you have any feedback, let us know. Really appreciate you watching, and share this with your friends.
You've reached the end of another Dr. is In podcast with your hosts, Dr. Martin Jr. and Sr. Be sure to catch our next episode, and thanks for listening.